Oh, thank you, Tiffany. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone has had an amazing week so far. We're in the third job description of a real estate agent. The first one was lead generation, lead follow-up, and now we're in the actually at the appointment part of our mastermind for this series. And as lead generation is extremely important, and as lead follow-up is extremely important, so is appointments. And did you hear me say when I got on the call at 8:30, right? We have this call scheduled at 8:30, and guess what? I didn't show up at 8:29. I showed up at 8:30. We had an appointment and I showed up on time. And I wanted everybody to know that I was showing up at 8:30. So I want you to think about that too, as we go through this mastermind with Debbie. But I wrote some notes down. Most realtors will go on an appointment and it's not an appointment. It's really not even an appointment. So they set an appointment to preview. So they're not really going on an appointment. They're not prepared for the appointment, meaning they don't have a CMA, they don't have a net sheet, they don't have a marketing plan, they don't have anything. They got to show up on time. A lot of agents show up late and say, oh my gosh, traffic in Orlando is horrible. Well, guess what? I went on an appointment the other day in Lake Nona. I live in New Smyrna Beach. It's an hour and 15-minute ride. I was 20 minutes early. He was 15 minutes late and he lived 2 miles away. We cannot use traffic as an excuse. Number 4 is the presentation. Are you nailing the presentation? And then are you closing the appointment? So you actually have to close. There's 5 things that I feel are extremely critical. Number 1 is setting the appointment. Number 2 is preparing for the appointment. Number 3 is showing up on time. Critical, on time. And then the presentation, and then the close. So I kind of want to open it up. This is a mastermind. And Debbie, so as we go through the processes and everything else, what's the importance of the appointments, and what do you see and coach on that agents are lacking or succeeding at a high level at, or both?
It's funny because, going on appointments, right, is we can do all the lead generation and lead follow-up. If we're not going on appointments, we're not making any money, right? And I was coaching an agent who happened to be calling expireds. And he says, I don't understand. I'm making all these calls. I'm making all these contacts and I'm not getting any appointments. And so I'm asking questions about his script, and he wasn't asking for an appointment. He was waiting for the person to say, maybe you should come over. And he ended up putting a big sign. He goes and then he was like incredulous. Like, how did I miss that? Like, how did I miss when can we get together? And he put a big sign. The purpose of the call is the appointment, to remind him that the purpose of the call isn't to have them answer, it's to get an appointment. And I think sometimes we struggle there. Now, I agree there's a difference between an appointment that is a preview. I'm not going to count that as an appointment on my calendar, but I am going to make it and I am going to go, because it might turn into an appointment once I get there, or I might have the opportunity once I'm there to set a real appointment. So where I find the gap, it starts in asking for the appointment. Now, if I talk to a seller I'm cold calling, right, the neighborhood, and they said, I'm thinking of selling in 6 months. I'm probably not going to do what I would call a mini needs analysis at that point, right? It's a cold call. The guy says he wants to sell in 6 months, but I am going to move that relationship forward by saying we should set a time to talk about that, to make sure that you're prepared and doing all the things to increase your thing. Now, that's not really an appointment, but I am taking the next step in that relationship. Instead of just saying, okay, 6 months, I'll call you in 6 months. I want to move that relationship along. So I want to schedule a purposeful conversation, even if it's not an appointment being something where I'm presenting to buyers, presenting to sellers to get a signed agreement. That's an appointment. But I am being a little bit more purposeful. And I see the big gap in agents is they're not going for that meeting, which solidifies your relationship, which puts you in the light of being an expert, which makes them have an impression of you. So when they do get ready to do the thing, they know who you are and you already have that relationship. So the first thing I coach on is getting in front of the people. Now, in front of can mean in person. It can mean this. Oh my God, do you know Zoom? I don't want to waste your time. I want this to be really efficient, but I think it'd be beneficial if we got together for a half hour to talk about why you're moving, when you're moving, what's important, and help get you set up for what you might need to be thinking about over the next 6 months to maximize your thing. So that's the first gap that I see. And then the second gap is that presentation, right? We're all really good at winging it. We're really good at it. So we do. And that's not, an appointment that has a presentation, has a beginning, middle, and end, and an ask for a signature. And going in without a beginning, middle, and end means the conversation can go like this, and you may wind up without the signature. And then the third thing that goes with that. So first thing is not getting into a meeting early. Second thing is not going with a presentation. And the third thing is thinking that you can win them over by being like them. I like to fish. I like to fish. You want to be seen not as a friend, but as a trusted business advisor. So you can have a few minutes of relationship building, a few minutes at the beginning. But this is a business consultation and you want to have the business presentation. So those are the three things.
I like what you said when the conversation can go like this, right? Some of the things that I always say, that was taught to me from this amazing lady called Debbie Frapp that told me to just, Tom, will you just be quiet and just listen? And she's the one who helped me understand the Q and the L when I write it on my pages. I used to have it on my whiteboard as well. And I still have it. I got it right here on my paper, Q and L. So what we talk about the Q and L is ask more questions and listen instead of telling, right? If we're selling features and benefits and we're telling about features and benefits, we're not catching the real, and that's where the appointment becomes the presentation, right? So preparing for that appointment with the best questions possible, the best market analysis possible, a great net sheet showing them what they're going to walk with at a couple different prices, right? And then leaving one blank so you can walk through it with them. If you don't know how to do a net sheet, you better learn quickly. I know a lot of realtors that say, I will never do a net sheet for a seller because I don't want them to see what I'm earning.
I'm underpaid.
Yeah, exactly. So showing up on time, not early. And the reason is most people are scattering to catch up for the appointment. So don't just go, hey, I'm early, 15 minutes, 10 minutes. No, walk right up to that door on time. We got an appointment at 8:30. I'm thanking you because it is 8:30 now, right? So the presentation is so critical. One of my coaching clients, he went on 28 appointments and they sold 2 properties. And he is asking for the business. So there's a gap there, right? So if he's asking for the business at the end, there's got to be a gap in the middle. It's either follow-up, it's either the presentation, it's the showing and telling versus the questions. There's a gap there and we got to figure that out. What is it, right? So I may have him record one of his presentations. Have you thought about recording one of your presentations when you go on it and then go back and listen to it and go, would I hire me? And here's what you do. I have a coach that I pay for that is helping me become the best I can possibly be and reach my full potential with all my customers and clients. Do you mind if I record this? It goes nowhere, but my coach really wants to hear how everything goes so he can help me with some blind spots. Would you? I've never had a seller tell me no, ever. And yeah, most of you are thinking right now, I would never do that. You know why you wouldn't do that? Because you don't want to hear yourself, because it could be completely devastating. And then you have to ask yourself, would I hire me too? So when we go back, set the appointment. I think what Debbie said earlier was the preparing for the appointment. What are we preparing? What are we bringing? Right? What are we bringing to the appointment? Is the value there when I'm showing up at the appointment? So in other words, am I bringing something of value, which is a market analysis, a net sheet? Here's the other thing, a powerful, I always call it an aggressive marketing plan, right? What's in your aggressive marketing plan that separates you from the competitor? And just if you tell them, oh, I do pitches, they don't do pitches. No, don't even worry about your competitor. This is my aggressive marketing plan. The photographer will be here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. if that works for you. My sign is already in my truck and I can put it in there. I have a lockbox right now ready to go. And this property will be listed immediately, and then we'll get this going, whatever it is, right? So are you preparing for the appointment to take it? And then the presentation. So each item is extremely important. So as we talk about this today, I hope everyone gets some notes out of this and goes back on, okay, I'm setting appointments, but I'm not preparing for them. I'm not doing a market analysis. I don't know the neighborhood. I don't know the floor plan. I don't know anything. Well, how will you expect to be the professional if you don't know? And then showing up on time and doing the presentation. But more importantly, at the very end, I don't know if he's on the call, but Ali Partovi and I sat down a long time ago. And I said to Ali, are you asking for the business? He goes, no. I said, okay, here's what I want you to do. What would stop you from hiring me today? If you ask that question and then tell me more, anything else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Fantastic. So if we can eliminate all of these, you'll hire me today. Okay. I need to interview another agent. Oh, okay. So outside of interviewing the other agent, is there anything stopping you from hiring me today? No. Fantastic. Why don't we sign this? And if you decide to hire that agent, we'll delete it. Or you can sign today because you're confident I can help you. And I'll call the other agent for you and let them know that you just hired me. And I will let them know how great this home is in case they have a buyer for you. Who's brave enough to say that? Okay. Is there anything wrong with that? Hey, Ron Wesikowski, it's Tom Martin. Listen, man, we're with the same company. I got there before you. Don't bother going on your appointment today at 2:00. I just got it. He goes, now I know I need to get there before you. All right. So be professional, ask for the business. Go ahead, Debbie. I dug in a little bit on there.
No, I've said that probably. I don't sell a lot of real estate because I've been in leadership and coaching for a long time, but I sell by referral. And I've said that probably a half a dozen times in my career, and not a single one let me call the other agent. All of them said, no, we'll call them. So they denied me the pleasure of making that call. I'm like, wait, okay, you're going to call. Are you sure you don't want me to call? I can call him right now. Nope. Not once have I been able to make that call.
But make sure they sign first.
Sign
before you make
first.
the call. Yeah, because
Yeah.
the other realtor may say something manipulative, like I'm better, I'm the king, I'm the best in the area. How dare you cancel on me? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And if you ever want to report someone for ethics, just listen on a call like that. Really, honestly, you'll see the true professionalism in that particular agent. So to that point, one of the past clients that I had did make the call, and she goes, you know what? I'm really glad that I met with Tom first, because knowing how you're acting on this call, I would never refer you. As a matter of fact, we have about 3 or 4 people in this building, in this condo building, that are looking to sell. And guess who's going to get the business? Not you. And that was a fact. And that was during the short sale days, right? So you had to be empathetic, you had to be hand-holding, you had to be caring, you had to be someone that was helping versus looking out for their own best interest, which is financial. So Deb, go ahead. It's all yours.
Yeah. So one other thing that I think that we miss is, we are the trusted advisor, right? We have access to MLS. They don't. Even if that's all you knew about real estate, we have access to data that they don't have. I always have, either digitally or printed on paper when I did presentations in person. I had data and value pieces should it arise during our conversation. Like this market, I would always have some data about the market, because I can promise you no other agent is educating people. Nobody else is saying, do you know what's going on in the market right now? Let's look just in your price point as what's happening. And you see that, and this is for both buyers and sellers. I just had a buyer that I've been working with, by the way, since before the pandemic. Before the pandemic, I've kept in relationship. She's trying to buy a condo down here. She hasn't put an offer in yet in three years, but she's remote, so it's no big deal. I'm just talking to her on the phone. It's not taking a lot of time. She says, let's put an offer in. And she wants to offer, it was a $700,000 listing, and she wanted to offer $650,000. Now I've been educating her about what's going on in the market. So I went and took quick stats from the last 20 condos that closed at 700,000, went in the MLS, and I did the average, list price to sales price. The average was list. 97%, 103, 97, 103, 97, 103. The average was list price. I screenshotted it, sent it to her, and I said, I love this offer. I will put in any offer you feel comfortable with. But we've been waiting a long time, and it looks like you finally made a decision of a property you want, and here's the data. She said, great, offered list. Because I'm the trusted advisor. Now she could have come back and said, no, this is what I can do, but I knew she could go up another 125,000. Now it turns out they're holding out for cash, so they didn't accept her offer. But still, right, if I'm the trusted advisor, you need to have things, either printed sheets or other things, that when they get resistance, you have evidence, not what you say, but you can show them what's happening, right? Because you're the trusted advisor. So I find that agents aren't prepared. You don't have to know 1,000 things about the market. You should know things about the market in that price point that you're going on. And that's the preparing part that Tom talks about.
Here's the thing, Deb. I'm looking at something that really, this morning I was reading a bunch of stuff about real estate appointments and stuff, because I wanted to see if there was other things that could bring a value, a tablet or notebook. Here's the thing, because we're in a technology world, don't be afraid to have a presentation based off of your tablet. The other thing is confidence. As I'm reading about confidence, people can sense and feel your confidence. And when they're around your confidence, not arrogance, confidence is a big difference. They're pulling into you and trusting you, right? Another thing that they talk about is something that we always talk about, and it's called bringing your listening ears. Are you listening for bullet points to come back to the conversation of why you're the best person to help them sell based on what they're telling you, right? And then here's one that I never even thought about: an agenda, an appointment agenda. Hey, when we meet today, we're going to tour your home. I'm going to show you, I'm going to provide you a CMA. I'm going to share some success stories. I'm going to give you the most amazing USP, unique selling proposition we offer. I'm going to come in there and I'm going to give you everything that you need to make the best decision possible, right? So I've never heard of the agenda part, but the agenda can set the expectations to have it going this way versus kind of all this way, right? Are all parties for the decision-making there? Oh, and by the way, are you the current owner? You will not, I'm just going to tell you, oh, it's my brother's house. Well, where's your brother? Oh, he's in another state, but I'm doing everything for him. Are you licensed? No. Oh my gosh, let me pull something up and show you that it's an actual felony if you do this, right? So are you the decision maker? Are all decision makers here? You would be blown away when it's only the wife or only the husband. And then they always tell you, well, I can't sign because my wife's signed. Oh my gosh, are all decision makers here? Hey, Debbie, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to meet with you today to list your home. I really appreciate it. Are all decision makers going to be there when we get there?
Yes, they will.
And I have 90% of the people will tell me, I'm not listing with you today. I haven't even met you. Okay, fantastic. As we come into that point, I'll let you know that the expectations are, I would love the opportunity to earn your business. Okay, so I'm setting the expectations forth. Okay, so bringing your unique selling proposition and an agenda. I think I've never heard of bringing an agenda because we always kind of guide them, but I love that. Again, setting the appointment, preparing for the appointment. You know, Style was talking about our daughter going to nursing school and everything else. She's got to go through a process to get to that PA or NP, right? She's not an NP because she just went to UF, right? So she's preparing herself to get to that designation and that level, right? Are you going to go and do surgery or do, you know, an IV to someone where you have no expertise, you've just seen it on YouTube? You know, don't practice on the customer. Don't practice on the customer, right? You are the professional here. Prepare for it. We get paid a very healthy hourly wage if we do the job that we're going to do, right? So why are you not preparing for the appointment? I think the preparation for the appointment probably takes way longer than the actual appointment. So if you're running around trying to get the CMA real quick, print it up and run out the door, what's your listing presentation going to be like?
You know, you mentioned the word confidence, Tom, and you'd be surprised the megas that I coach that struggle with confidence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you were a trial attorney, you wouldn't go into the closing argument without having practiced multiple hours and hours of practicing. And we make money with our mouths, right? That's how we make money. So why would you not practice your closing argument, which is, by the way, your closing argument is your buyer consultation, your listing presentation. Why would you not practice that like a violinist practices before every concert? Why would you not practice that your entire career? Tom, you and I were, you know, team leaders, and we practiced the call, the recruiting call. And then we have practiced, we called a needs analysis, but it's still a needs analysis if you're meeting with a buyer, because it isn't about you, it's about them. So my presentation isn't about, hi, I'm great, I'm awesome, I can help you, I'm the best, look at my stuff, here's how. It's about, what do you want? Why do you want it? When do you want it? Why is that important to you? What happens if you don't get it? That's what both of those presentations are. It's about them. So if I'm a professional violinist or attorney or real estate agent, why would I not practice the most important things, which is making the appointment and holding the appointment? Now, probably want to practice negotiations because that's a big deal as well. But why would I not practice those? And not just when I'm launching my career, but my entire career. It's how I make my money. The story of the violinist who was, elderly and practicing 5 hours a day. And someone says, why do you practice 5 hours a day? Your audience won't know. And he said, but I will. I'll know when I've made an error, and that's unacceptable to me. Doesn't matter that they didn't see it. I know what a perfect performance looks like. So why would I not continue to practice? Because it's about my skill and staying on top of my game. And I just love that.
Yeah. It's kind of like anything else, right? The violinist practicing and practicing and practicing, and the when they're on stage, they will know because he's not at his best, right? Right. He's going to make a lot of mistakes. He's going to sweat of lack of confidence because he doesn't know if he is going to show up or if his fingers are not going to be on properly or whatever it may be. That's when you're confident, you're full of knowledge. That's what creates confidence. Now, I can go into a certain situation extremely confident because I know what I'm doing. But if I go into a situation where I don't know anything, I'm not walking in confident. I'm actually going to be I'm going to be very timid. Okay. Just like brand new agents, you're going to be timid, but I promise you this. If you practice your presentation and you script and role play and you prepare, I will take you over any mega agent getting that listing, because you know what? They walk in with ego versus confidence.
And if you ask questions about that, the mega walks in and goes, here's me. I'm awesome. I'm. And you walk in with, why are you selling your house? Oh, your kids are gone. Oh, how's that going for you? Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, they're not coming back. Yeah. So why is it that they're gone? Because that's not the thing. Why is them being gone? Why do you want to sell? Well, because my wife spends all day Saturday cleaning, and that's just not acceptable. The house is so big, it takes her all this time. Well, what would you do if your wife wasn't? That's still not the thing. What would you do if your wife wasn't cleaning? Well, we like to go to yard sales, and we like to go to the pool, and we like to do all these things. So you're actually doing this for your wife. Oh my God, that's adorable. You guys are amazing. That is so great. So you're moving so that you can have more quality time together. The mega's not asking that. They're saying, I'm awesome. List with me. I've sold 50 homes, la, 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 la. And it's not about them. And they all of a sudden go, la, la, la. Here's the thing now. If you don't have confidence, it's a fine line. If you're not prepared, go on the appointment anyways. Just make a commitment to get prepared next time. The best way to get confidence is to practice and to do it. I'll see agents that lack confidence struggle to make the appointment because of the lack of confidence. When you started to learn to ride your bike, the only way you can learn is to get on the bike and fall and fall and fall and fall and fall, and then slowly you get better. So it's really good to practice, but it's really good to go on appointments. That's the way you build your confidence, is go do it. Go do it badly. Everybody's first appointments are bad. Guess what? Statistically, if you're the first agent in the seller's home, 70% of the time you'll walk away with the listing, even if you're bad. So go and do a bad appointment. Do it, because you still increase the chance that you can get it, and it increases your confidence. Tom, listen, I'm overdoing my appointment. I just want to remind everyone, we are putting together a 4 to 6 weeks training program. And on next week's call, we will have the dates, because we want to help you guys get to the next level. So we'll give you all the details next week.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So what Debbie said was so real. don't practice on the consumer. Just be prepared, right? You're not going to be the master at it unless you do it 10,000 times, by the way. Okay. You don't have to be a master at something to nail something, right? You're going on that appointment with confidence because you're prepared for it. You're going on that appointment with all your preparation and you got it, right? You know more than the consumer does. So you're the professional. If you don't go on the appointment, you're not going to get it, right? So people that go on appointments that are not prepared are going to do way better than people that are extremely prepared that never go on appointments, right? So I want to open it up and I want to hear some ahas, but also I want to hear about your, and I know Joe's been he works really, really, really hard on preparing for appointments and stuff. So I know Claire had her hand up first, and then I'm going to come to Lillian. Go to Lillian. Okay. Lillian, are you at the gym?
No, actually, I'm in the bathroom doing my hair in Connecticut, going on an appointment.
Nice. Good for you, dear.
Yes. So I just wanted to say about the comment that I've been hearing you say for years, asking for the appointment. So I'm here and I'm interviewing agents to list my mother-in-law's home. So I've had a lot of conversations and I've been meeting them at the diner. Well, only one agent said, listen, while I'm there, can I tour the home? And I said, well, I haven't really disclosed the address yet because we don't know, I don't know who's going to get the referral. He said, no, that's fine. He says, let me just tour the home. You don't have to pick me, no strings attached. And he's got the appointment. He asked for it. So I was like, okay, we could do this. So I'm meeting with someone else today. She has not asked me for the appointment. She did ask for the address because she wanted to come prepared. So I'm thinking of still offering her that appointment and then letting my mother-in-law choose between the two.
That's awesome. Enjoy the beautiful weather up there right now because it's so pretty up there right now.
Bye. Sorry, they call me bye.
Okay.
All
Claire.
right, that's it. Thank you.
So Lillian, I think that was great in your analysis and what you were talking about so far as asking for the appointment and things of that nature. And I know that the commitment to practice our consultations is a mindset that Tom Martin and certain trainers that are high on my list taught me. You practice until you don't get it wrong. You don't practice to get it right. So sure. One of the things that we've talked about in our after parties that I encourage agents that need to build that confidence is this. Take your friends and family members, use their homes as practice and ask those friends, hey, just need your help today. I need about 15 to 20 minutes of your time on the phone to ask you a few questions. I'm going to be recording this so that my coaches can hear me. And then I want to stop by the house, take another about 15 minutes and go through my consultation with you so that you can allow feedback to me so that I can become a stronger advocate for those that are in need of real estate services. Could you do that for me? So this is what's so interesting. I was able to get 15 people in 1 month to agree to this, friends and family. Okay. I think our team got 5 listings out of it. Wasn't even working for listings. I was working for confidence to build something. However, within our team, we do a 23 question pre-listing consultation that runs like a conversation. I take that conversation with me because we fill it out while we're on the phone. I take it with me to refer back because it's not about me, it's about them. And making sure that they know that they were heard, understanding their disc profile and bringing the information in the manner in which they will receive it as facts instead of just fluff. So I just encourage us, if you don't have confidence, contact your friends and family, do a real estate review on their home, just a consultation of where their home is actually on the market, whether they're looking to buy or sell or whatever. It's still the same consultation. Enjoy, do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Heather made a comment in there. Heather, you did that seller a favor because that particular agent would have treated them just the way they did by their text message. So great job. And you know what? Here's the other thing is I asked them to do a written apology if they do anything like that, or I will send the text to the Board of Realtors for an ethics violation. Okay, so I have no fear of telling an agent, and when I ran the company, I had several agents where I'd say, go write them an apology letter right now. Go write that agent an apology letter or go call them, because that's not how you're going to act, because that's not how you win, right? By mistreating or talking bad about it. Oh my gosh, you're going to hire Joe. Do you know Joe blah, 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 blah? See, we have a code of ethics to follow by. So don't go in there and bash any agent. Don't even talk about another agent. Talk about your value proposition. And when you talk about your value proposition, that's what's going to win the business. So Heather, if that response helps you, you just help that seller not work with a pretty nasty person. And hopefully the seller's seeing that too.
Thanks. Yeah, this is Heather. He actually then reached back out to us and said, I just wanted you to know that this just reaffirms my decision, because he was kind of on the fence. And when we said, hey, we're willing to reach out to the other agent for you, that helped make his decision, because he didn't want to have the confrontation. And then when he got the nasty text, he said, you know what, this just reaffirms my decision, and he really appreciated it.
Yeah. And that's the good that comes out of it. You know, I understand it's tough to call another agent and say, I just listed the property, by the way, you can come and show it. I know I don't have a problem doing that. And I know it's not in some of our behaviors to do that, but do it on the mindset of a professional courtesy. They just signed the paperwork. By you going on that appointment, they've already signed. There's nothing you can do. So I don't want you to waste your time. By the way, it's a great property, and I can send you all the photos prior to it going on the listing if you would like to bring your buyers or whatever for the day that it opens. So nice job, Heather. Great job. Don't be afraid. And by the way, I say this respectfully. When I was running the operations, and I would say this on this call, if Claire and Liz are great friends and they're going on the same listing appointment, I don't tell them, hey, don't go because Claire is going, because they may connect with Liz and not connect with Claire. Because I will tell you this, I've many times seen it happen in our organization where one person goes on the presentation and they hire a total different company because it wasn't a connection. Okay, so don't take it personal. Claire, go ahead.
Can I speak to that? I actually was in a situation where the seller's agent called me to let me know that they were going to list with this person. And I said, are you still with your customers? And they were like, yes. I said, put me on speakerphone. And so they put me on speakerphone, and I was like, hey, John and Dawn, I just wanted to let you know that you hired a great agent. She and I work together so well, and I'm so pleased. She's going to send me the information because, as you know, we always have buyers that are in the pipeline, and we want to do you the best that we can as this industry serving you.
Yeah.
Spoke volumes.
It does.
That's giving me a 25% referral on the listing.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing we forget about is we get our own ego in the way where we want that listing. We want that buyer. They're mine. I love that other agent stole that from me. No, you didn't have it, period. You didn't have it. Don't come to me crying that you did. Someone stole it from you or you didn't get it. You know, I hear it all the time. Oh my gosh, it was a $1.2 million listing. They're calling me next week to list. I said, if anybody else goes in there with talent behind you, you lost it. You did not get it. So setting the appointment, being prepared for the appointment, showing up on time, and doing the best possible needs analysis for them. And by the way, when I say needs analysis, if you look up the listing presentation or buyer presentation on EXP in the marketing section under presentations, there's the questions right there. That's the needs analysis. Okay, that's what a needs analysis really is. Ask a lot of questions, write the stuff. And by the way, I always brought a legal pad with me, and just like I do on this call, these were my notes, by the way, from just today's call. I wanted them to know I cared of everything that they told me, whether I used it or not. It didn't matter. It mattered to them. So it's open. Who else has a great success? I see Claire pointing this way. I don't know what that way is or that way.
Liz had a question.
Oh, Liz. Who's Liz? Oh, that Liz. No, okay.
No, it was just piggybacking off of what you said, Tom, before about, saying, hey, that they stole it from me. They stole that listing from me. It's a mindset thing, guys. Like, it's kind of what he said before. It's you never had it. So you need to change the way you think. You have to go in there, I was just piggybacking off of what you said. So I thought that was just that was an aha moment for me.
Yeah. Top mega agents don't care. Well, they do care. Let me rephrase that. If they go on 10 appointments and they get 8 and they don't get the other 2, they're okay with that, right? Their batting average is 80%, right? So if you go on 1 appointment a month and don't get it, it hurts you so bad financially. So what I'm really telling you is the more appointments you go on, the more opportunities you have to get closed sales. Go on appointments, utilize your family and your friends as script and role play partners, and you'll find that now they stay top of mind. And when they're talking to people and they hear someone wanting to buy or sell, it also
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. All right. Anyone else? We have 11 minutes and then I will have to jump off. And then it'll be Tiffany's and Joe's after party. Yeah, I said Potty, potty. Claire, I'm so happy that I can actually make you crack up in the mornings. There you go.
What a better way to do it, Mr. Martin.
My last name's the easiest to spell. Why do people mess it up when I tell them my last name Martin and they go Motin? I'm like, no, you don't know how to spell? No, you just don't know how to pronounce it. All right.
So in the South, it's Tom Martin.
Yeah. In the South,
it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Tom Martin. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I get called other things in the South. Being from where I'm at, anyone else?
Question, Tom.
Yeah, Joe.
So asking for the business, but pre-qualifying and making sure that that's a signer is going to be at the appointment. Are you going to waste your time? Let me use that as a caveat. It's just a statement, and go there to meet with that one person to try to build the relationship or rapport, or are you going to pre-qualify them and make sure that everyone's going to be there to sign and then go to the appointment?
That's a great question, Joe. And based on my own previous experience, I'm going to ask a couple questions to that. So, Joe, if all decision makers are not able to attend, when's the best time for everyone to attend? Or, they might have a spouse that's in the military that's overseas, or someone who travels a whole lot. Hey, you know what? With the convenience of Zoom today, can we do it that way? Try to get them on the call. If you cannot get them on a Zoom or in person, I'm not going to stop, but I'm not going to go on an appointment that at least one decision maker is not there. I have found many times that when you don't have both decision makers there in your presentation, the other one doesn't have any kind of feeling towards that presentation because they weren't actually in it. Okay. So if you go, for instance, if you're going on a divorce appointment,
I was going to ask about that. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going as a partner with a female. Because no matter what happens, if I go with the male, the female is going to go, no way, you're picking a male, and vice versa. So I'm going to go with a partnership of a female. We're going to go together. And I'm not telling you have to do that, but I'm going to tell you, you don't know the animosity behind the scenes. And I don't even get involved in it. I don't even ask questions. I just say, here's what we can do to help you and be the best mediator you possibly can, because darn, you're going to need it, because not every separation is there. Also, when you're doing probate stuff, deceased, parents or family members, where all the family members need to sign, it's a very, very, very delicate approach, and you have to approach it with compassion and not go in there bulldogging. It's just not going to work. So. And
I had one more question too.
Yeah.
And this is, I hear one way and the other all the time, but when you're there, do you go with the homeowner to tour the property, or do you just say, hey, you mind if I just take a quick walk around and and look at the property, and I'll meet you back here?
Yeah, I would say let's hear from the success of agents on the call. Liz, what's your input on that?
So for me, it kind of starts off with their disc profile, right? So when I walk in, I'm just like, hey guys, thank you for allowing me to come. Thank you for allowing me to stop by. I'm more than happy. Tell me about your home. And once they start yapping, I know they're going to walk me through the house. You know what I mean? Like, especially when I'm setting that appointment, it's just like, I know for a fact that they're going to be the ones, oh, well, we did this to the house. We love this family kitchen, blah, 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 blah. I know that they're all about feeling and everything. I also know when I'm talking to my people and they're just like, hey, this is what we want. This is what we want. Very direct and short. I know I can walk the house by myself. I'll say, hey guys, I'm going to walk the property through the eyes of the buyer. And then we'll meet back in the kitchen, and it'll take me a couple minutes to do. So it all depends on the people that you're talking to and when you're setting up those appointments. I hope that helps.
Makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Yeah, love it. Joe,
so can I add to that too, Tom?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because Liz nailed it. And the one thing that I also deliver to the sellers prior to the in-person consultation is a pre-listing package, which has all of the contracts, addendums, everything that they're going to see, the seller's disclosure. And I put a little post-it note in there, and I'll ask them, our appointment was at 8:30 and it's 8:30. Did you have a chance to review the paperwork? Well, I'll know whether or not they did as to their response, because there's a post-it note in there. If they haven't, then it leads me in a different direction, which says, great, do me a favor. If you have completed the seller's disclosure, great. I'm going to walk the house really quick. If not, let's sit down and discuss, because then I know that whatever that disc profile was that I thought I had in my head, I may need to readjust that to fit their needs. So that's one way that I make sure that they have looked over the information. Because if I'm dealing with an SC, and this is for me coming from a DI, I know that I need to spend extra time with them, and that they have more questions and need to have more facts and analysis. So I need to spend that time with them sitting down to go over stuff line by line. However, if I'm also dealing with a DI, they've already seen it, they've already read it, they already let me know, great, I'm going to walk the house real quick with the eyes of the buyer. I'll meet you back in the kitchen. If you have any questions, just make sure they're prepared, so that way I am on time for you, because I have promised you in the beginning we would only be together 20-30 minutes. Fair enough? Great. I've got my clipboard. I'm ready. That disc profile, and knowing that and having that pre-consultation call prior to, makes all the difference in the world as to how long you're spending on your actual listing appointments themselves. Because Liz and I both understand, when we have rang that doorbell or knocked on that door, that listing is ours. Whether they choose us or not, the listing is ours, period, end of story. And that's the confidence that we bring because of the preparation that was already put before we even actually reached the threshold. So Joey, I hope that helps.
Awesome. Addie, hey Fred, Addie had a question, and I want to throw this out there. Addie asked a question, what about the prep for the appointment? Every aspect of the appointment is extremely important. Fred, do you have, and go ahead and,
No, just
Yeah.
quickly, Joe, I put an
Yeah.
article link here in the chat for you. And there's tons of this stuff out there. You know, you got to follow what, you know, like Liz was saying, personality, their disc profile. You know, so read that article, and there's tons of those out there. So the psychotherapy website dealing with customers, your customer psychotherapy. So read that article. That'll be very helpful.
Fred, that's critical, because you can tell their behavior. You can't tell it 100%, but you can get a good idea off of the conversation that you're having with them over the phone. If they're a very pushy, analytical, what do you do for a living? Or I'm an accountant, very analytical. All right. Oh, I'm in sales, you know, very hard driver. So if you have a driver, don't go in with a 40-page presentation. They'll kick you out. Okay. Get right to the point real quick. Addie had a question. Preparation for the appointment. Addie, can you elaborate on that a little bit as far as what you're looking for? Why we got the group on the call that can help better understanding. Is it what do you prepare for? Is it what materials are you going over to prepare? Tell me a little bit about that so we can clarify that and get you some good feedback.
So it was, what do you bring for said, like, what do you prepare as in like the paperwork or the actual, like, yeah, the paperwork basically, like what should you be bringing to said listing appointment?
Gotcha. And that's valid. Addie, how long you been in the business?
2 months.
Okay, very, very valid. I like that you're already, you know, if you have a seasoned mentor that tells you, I just go on the appointment, don't worry about it. No, you want to make sure there's a lot of key components. Number one is a CMA, net sheet, listing presentation, your confidence, but also we have a ton of mentors on here. Any mentors want to speak into what Addie is looking for? 2 months in the business, preparation. What, anybody want to make any comments to that?
Well, the number one thing, if you missed George's thing on Monday, on when was it, Tuesday, definitely go back to Workplace and
Listen to that.
Yeah, listen to that. That's what that was all about.
That's the listing the 15-minute listing presentation and what to prepare for. Thank you, Fred. Addie, were you on that call on Tuesday?
I was not. It's on Workplace. I was actually
Yes.
gonna ask you because I did see that you guys were recording these.
Yes.
GPS Academy.
Yeah, so I would definitely highly recommend you go to that that recording from Tuesday. And you know where we're at on Workplace, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. All right. So everything's recorded. Definitely go to that. And I think you're going to get huge value out of it. Thank you, Fred. See, that's what's great about our calls is we get our participation, and I'm going to be like, here's all you need versus saying, hey, go ahead and listen to this because you're going to get a whole lot more out of that.
So just to give kudos to Liz. Liz, I'm going to show something from the past, blast from the past. Okay. Liz has presentation folders. Liz has consultation information in here. She has fold outs, her business card, a thank you card, and all of the paperwork and comps that has to go on an appointment. This was an appointment that she went on 2019. I still kept this because this was one of the first ones that she had done on her own after we had one of our coaching moments. Yes, she's laughing. How sweet is that? This is actually a person that she just closed on, that she talked about on Facebook. I have her consultation with me. Happy Good Friday.
Yeah. You know, that's so, who here has gone on an appointment with a notebook and nothing else? I've done it. And I can honestly tell you, I was ashamed. I was embarrassed internally, even though it was a referral or a friend. Go prepared. I missed a lot of opportunities because I went in there going, oh, this is my buddy, or oh, this is a past client. I don't need any of this. I've missed a lot of opportunities. Be prepared as it's a brand new customer in front of you, and as you would treat a brand new customer with that, and show them the respect that they deserve and your professionalism that they deserve. Okay. Liz?
So
And
guys,
after Liz, it's after party, and it's all yours, Steph.
So guys, something that I do that may help all of you is I walk around with 2 folders in my purse every single day. I have a listing packet and I have a buyer's packet, because you never know who you're going to meet. And I always have my iPad. So in the folder, I have the listing paperwork, I have the seller's disclosure, lead-based paint, everything. So even if we have to physically write it out, I'm willing to do so. And the same thing in a buyer's packet. Like I have the full buyer's presentation. I have the buyer brokerage. I have actual physical contracts, because you never know who you meet. And I have my iPad because I can become an expert in a specific area within 10-15 minutes by just going through saying, hey, they like this area, blah, 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 blah. Let me find the comps. Let me look at the school district. Let me look at this. Let me look at that. So you can easily become the expert in an area within 15 minutes. You know, if you have your laptop or your iPad with you, to be able to run the comps and find out about the neighborhood, but also being prepared because you have it in your bag. And for guys, like a briefcase or whatever you guys use at this point, but you know what I mean. So hopefully that helps.
So Liz, every day that you leave the house, you're prepared for a listing and a buyer.
Absolutely. Day 0 every day. Start my day at 0 every day.
That was a huge aha for me today, guys. Huge aha. Are you leaving the home every single day with being prepared to list a property or work with a buyer?
Guys, they go in my purse every single day. I have a whole bunch of them right there, because you never know who you're going to meet.
Wow. I wonder who your coach is.
I got Claire, and I got you, and I got Fred DeFalco, and I got George. I have all of you, Tiffany, Joe, Joey. I love Joey. Joey doesn't know how much I love Joey, but I love Joey.
Wow. Hey, Tiffany,